What's up, everybody? My name is Morten Ferstrand, and in this guitar lesson I'm going to give you some tips on playing on that track that you just heard. You can use those tips on playing on many other musical tracks as well, of course, but yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you want the actual backing track, you can get that. There's a link in the description. You can also get a PDF file with the written examples that I'm going to show you today, and also a PDF file with just the chord changes on the backing track. So let's go straight into it. First example. This is in the key of C minor, so I'm going to give you like an ascending scale example and a descending scale example. So if you play the pentatonic scale or the blues scale in the box like this, it sounds like a scale. So I'm going to show you a way of getting a scale going up and down without it sounding that much like a scale and more sound like music. So example number 1 is like this. One more time. See. So this is just the blues scale actually, but because of the way it's being played, it sounds more musical than. So we're playing, it's a 6-note scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going over 2 strings. That means this pattern's gonna repeat on the next 2 strings. Exactly the same pattern. And again on the last 2 strings. And so the picking pattern, the left-hand pattern, is gonna be the same. So make note of where the hammer-ons are, what's being picked and what's being not picked, because that's gonna automatically give accents to the line and create something just with dynamics. Also the slide here, it's making variation in the timbre and overall tone and sound of the line, and it just makes it sound more like music. So yeah, let me just play, start the track and just actually play that scale and see if you don't agree that it actually sounds like a musical line. So there's nothing wrong with staying in the box, A lot of things you have to do in the box, but playing diagonally is kind of it's important. It's important to master that as well, and you get you get something that you couldn't get if you stayed in position, right? So example number 2 is going to be a descending scale, which hopefully also sounds like music, and it's like this. So that was just a scale. This is an 8-note scale. It's a regular major scale with 1 chromatic passing note. And in this case, we're playing 4 notes on each string. So the picking patterns is going to be the same. And because it's 4 plus 4, it's going to, line up with the beats and bars. So picking-wise, what I'm going after is a picking pattern that sounds like what a ride cymbal is playing in a jazz crew, which is ding, ding, ka ding, ding, ka ding. So I'm picking ding, ding, ka ding, ding, ka ding, ding, ka ding. That's kind of the rhythmic accents I'm trying to get across. To exaggerate that a little bit. It also makes it easier to play technically because you have some breaks in there. You're not alternate picking everything, and that gives your muscles a little bit of a chance to relax in between the bursts of picking energy. So you don't tense up as easily. So yeah. Yeah, you can read the tab, but this is the scale. We have a slide. on each string. Right? See how that sounds? Okay, so you have an ascending scale and a descending scale. So I think that sounds great on this track. It's all in the key of C minor. You know, you have some like a G dominant chord in there, of course, which you can, you know, think about and consider doing stuff on top of, but you don't really have to. You can just stay in C minor. So example number 3. It's kind of a variation. It's kind of like a lick using the descending scale, and it's like this. So it's not too much to say about it. You have some chromatic stuff happening, but it's really coming from the C minor scale. Make sure you check out the picking directions. There's some half sweep, I guess you would say, down, up, up. But yeah, it's a nice little line. If you want something, you know, a starting point to have something else than just the scale. You know. Yeah, so let's move on to example number 4. Sounds like this. This is sort of an outside sounding thing. It's not that many notes which are outside really, but technically wise, you can. I've notated that this note here is a left-hand tap. So you just hammer on. You don't have to do that, but you know, it's just I wrote it because you can, and if you play fast, sometimes that makes it easier. Not having to pick that, but you can pick it as well. It's not, you know. So that's a line. See how that sounds. I thought that was maybe a bit on this particular track. It may be a little bit too outside sounding. That's just a matter of taste. So the next example is going to be a way to kind of do that same idea, but kind of soften it up a little bit. Yeah. So you be the judge of that, but I think it's a nice little line that you can use in many places, I guess. So example number 5, same idea, but with just a couple of added chromatic passing notes. So here and the rest is the same. That's example number 5, and example number 6 is same thing down here. So listen how that sounds on C minor. So I'll try to use, and down here you can play it without the chromatic passing notes too as well, of course. But it sounds maybe a little bit, depends on what you do before and how you play in and out of it and how, you know, everything is around you. It might kind of stick out a little bit if you play like very inside and bluesy all the time and suddenly that comes. May sound a little bit strange, but if you do a little bit of outside playing here and there, it should blend in nicely. But hopefully, bring some small little ideas that maybe can inspire you to play around with them and come up with your own thing. Hopefully, and well, if not, it's not like. Nothing. At least the scales stuff here is nothing uncommon. It's not like if you play the scales exactly as I teach them to you now, um, everybody's gonna hear that you took it from me. This is everybody plays stuff like this, so don't be afraid of that. It's like just the bread and butter of improvising on, in this case, a funky track. So yeah, have fun with it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.